You want to talk about right-wing populism, right? I've had a lot of people in my mentions lately, so I've been forced to pay attention to this. I'd never watched Rising before, claiming, oh, right populists and left populists, they may not agree on social issues, but they can work together on economic issues, right? I mean, I have seen very little evidence that Republicans want to be progressive on economic issues, but even if that were the case, you cannot separate the social from the economic. Like, people smarter than me, right, historians like Mike Davis, have come to the conclusion that one of the biggest barriers to working class power throughout the history of this country has been racism and xenophobia, right? These are not just social issues totally divorced from the economic. A Whole Foods union busting manual that came out recently said one good indicator that your store is less likely to unionize is if there's more diversity on staff.
Right.
Which is just depressing as hell. But it's more and more evidence that, like, you cannot disaggregate these issues, and the only way that we're going to get working class power is if we fight racism, xenophobia, homophobia, sexism, all of those things at the same time.
Yeah, these categories were literally formalized hundreds of years ago to make it easier to exploit certain classes of people.
Yeah, right-wing populism arose as a response to a credible challenge from the left. You want to talk about the birth of fascism? We could talk about Mussolini's Italy. There were tons of anarchists and communists trying to unite as a class and overthrow an exploitative system. And fascism arose because they needed to capture the popular energy of a grassroots movement, while at the same time upholding the system through bonds of cross-class bonds of nationalism, right? And it has been fairly effective throughout history.